The record label's like really winding down. There's nothing going on. I'm not making any money. So I end up being the general manager of the Sybaris.
Are you kidding me? You came in here telling me you got nothing to talk about? For anyone that doesn't know what the Sybaris is, if you could maybe give me your own little...
It's a really trashy sex hotel. I found so many people. I was looking up everybody. I'm like, you stayed here, you sly dog. And so during the day was all cheaters and their mistresses. I remember I would walk in, the housekeepers would be like begging me, like, what are we gonna do? And I just open the door. So those housekeepers have like 2 hours to clean the cum off of all those freaking rooms.
Well, all right. Battle raps cause I've shaken grown men to the point that they can't even face their own friends. That's why they rhyme about jewels, not life, cause the ice on which they skating is so thin.
Welcome back to the Party with Strategy podcast. Very special guest, old friend of mine. Old just in the time that I've known him, not your age, but
that too.
The Northside Ninja.
Yeah.
The Assyrian on Ableton.
Yes.
Mutts Muddy on me's mall walking.
100%.
My boy Nick Rockwell's in the building.
Wait, you forgot a couple things.
What do you got?
Got the mayor of Skokie.
The mayor of Skokie.
King of the Hood Rats.
King of the Hood Rats.
AKA Rat King Cole.
Rat King Cole. Oh, see, you're better at this than I am. You should have sat here.
Rat King Cole's in the building. You're not even going to like...
That's from Twitch, right? The King of the Hood Rats? I think I remember that now that you say it.
Yeah.
Are you still on there?
No, I kind of miss it though. I jumped on for Suja. He wanted to do like a 20-year. And it was like, oh shit, this is fun. You know, I was like, damn, I forgot how much I like this.
Yeah.
Twitch, you like it until you get sick of it.
It's weird to get used to at first. At first, you're like, what am I doing here? I'm like DJing and pretending that there's people in front of me. But then you kind of settle in and there is like a legit crowd. You can get the feeling of being in front of a crowd. You
really got that feeling. Sometimes you look so stupid. You're in your room, like turning up. No one's there.
Drinking by yourself.
I used to fake it. I used to pretend to drink like, someone caught me up and told on me, but I would just pour water in the vodka bottle.
Yeah.
And just try to act drunk and do whatever. And
yeah. Me and Dolo did that for a couple videos, actually.
Yeah. I mean, those days when I would have a decoy bottle. So it was like one shot would be the real one shot would be the fake one. Mm-hmm. You know, I'd do the whole thing. And then someone actually caught it on the stream. And
like they seen you doing, like you would grab one bottle, then you grab the other, and they were like, what's going on here?
This dude was a head of security for a casino.
Oh,
so he happened to be on Twitch, and he's like, every time he reaches for the left, the bottle's like empty, and then when he reaches for the right, it's a full bottle, and he's got a decoy bottle, and he just called me out. And I was like, bro, all right, man, you could have texted me or like DM me or something. Like, why are you gonna tell everybody as well?
Got you.
Yeah.
That's fun. Well, yeah, I mean, before we started, we were talking about how we met, where we met. I feel like it was Hefe. I'm pretty sure it was Hefe.
So I was reflecting on this. I'm like, man, when did, and I remember the first time I even saw you. And I walked into Hefe, and I remember I'm like, yo, and I even told you this story, like when I met you. So I walked in, and I just seen this dude, and I'm like, man, this kid looks really cool.
I do remember you telling me this.
I told you, and I'm like, and I remember I found you like a couple days later. I'm like, yo, man, you were DJing at Hefe the other night, right? I'm like, man, you were like buff and built. You had the backwards hat on, and you were just kind of like swagging and scratching. And I'm like, who the fuck is this guy? Like, I've never seen him before. He's got like insane swag. He's like tearing it up just on a Thursday night. So like casual about it. And I was never an open format DJ. I was like a house. I was on tour with Bad Boy Bill. I was only house. And
this was when you were still on sticks.
Still on. So I got a story for that.
Right.
So still on sticks, but then I wasn't making any money. And I'm like, yo, I'm like, dude, without any hit songs, no one's booking you to play any good shows in the house world. Right. And I had a relationship with Scam, and Bill was on Scam. And I started kind of trying to teach myself open format. And I thought I was great open format DJ. I sucked. I was horrible. Bro, I was fucking bad, dude. Like, I thought I was great. I didn't know. So I was like...
So, like, when you first started DJing, you're doing all house music and shit, where were you playing at?
Bro, I mean... My first gigs were at Shadows on Devon.
Shadows on Devon.
You even know that place?
I don't know it, but I got to imagine Devon and what?
McCormick.
Oh shit!
I was underage. I used to work at a record store called Just Dance, and it was right around the corner. And those were my first gigs, and then I was playing vinyl. I was playing records.
Yeah.
You know, and so then I eventually worked my way up and started playing. I got into like the spots. You know, John Curley was actually the first guy to ever book me in Chicago, like a real gig. And it was like to open, like, it was Red No 5. It was Red No 5 and it was Transit. So he would have me like play, you know, early, but opening for like the Chemical Brothers or the guys that were on then. It was, you know, and Crowbar I used to play, Zentra, like I'd play places like that, and just with records.
Yeah.
And then I was a huge Bad Boy Bill fan.
How old were you at that time?
Like 22.
Okay.
Shadows, I was like 18.
Yeah.
Like 22, I started like venturing out and trying to get booked and whatever. And then
where was Shadows, like in comparison to where the Dunkin' Donuts is now on Devon, right after you go over the bridge?
No, you know the Home Depot?
Yes.
Right across the street from where the Hong Kong buffet is, where like Sushi World and
like where the movie theater was, Diversions.
It was you could walk right. It was right across from Diversions.
Okay,
right
I got you. I
the
got
parking
you.
lot. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I literally grew up right there. Like,
it used to be Eric's North, and there was a big sign like on a stick. It was a huge sign on a stick with this little old looking thing. I can't even find pictures of it anymore.
Silver Q's over there.
It was next door to Silver Q.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So that crowd was like old school guys with like, they had those like mullets, you know, those Middle Eastern guys with the mullets and
the faux hawk mullet kind of thing.
Still wearing Cavaricis, and you know, like you could only play old school. You try to play anything new, they weren't having it. They just wanted to hear House of God all night long, and you know,
that's hilarious.
Yeah, man, it was a crazy crowd. They were much older people, so it wasn't like a pop-in 21-year-old, 22. You know, these guys were already old. Their prime days were like, you know, 15 years ago or whatever. So, yeah, I was there. Then started playing, you know, like opening for people like then Vision, which is now Tao.
Right.
So I would play upstairs. It was Spun Day, and then it was God's Kitchen. They came to Chicago, and that was Lucas King. So Lucas, before all that other stuff, he was booking me to do, again, open for whoever was hot back then, you know, or play a local showcase and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know?
So then you're climbing the ranks of the DJ world, right?
And then kind of jumped off of it because I had started working for Bill. So I was like a huge Bad Boy Bill fan.
Yeah.
The biggest ever. I would drive 5 hours to see this guy DJ at a rave. And I begged I was at Columbia, and they were like, oh, you got to be an intern. You got to intern. You got to do whatever. So I just started calling. He had a record label, like Moody and all that shit. It was all like an actual record label. So I started calling over there every day, asking to be an intern, and they were just blowing me off, and you know, whatever, and it wasn't happening. And then they finally like, hold on, let's patch you through to Bo Basic. So Bo Basic was this guy who worked for Bad Boy Bill. He's like the head marketing guy, right? And he's like, yeah, come in for an interview. So he came in, he interviewed me. He's like, all right, cool. And I started working for this guy. And then as I'm working there, you know, Columbia would be like, okay, after the semester, you have to ask for a job.
You're talking Columbia College, Chicago.
Yeah.
And you were going there?
Yeah.
Okay.
So they're like, you got to ask for a job. This is what you do. This is what internship's about. You got to ask for a job at the end. Napster had just came in and kicked every record label's ass. We're still doing vinyl. And I'm like, and all these other interns were like, yeah, you know, my internship's up. I'd like to get a job. I'm like, you're fucking nuts. Like, I ain't seen jack shit. I'm working with Bad Boy Bill's label. And I never even saw Bill. He came in like, he called once. Never seen the guy. But I was part of the team. So, dude, the internship ended. I shut the fuck up. And I just kept coming in for 2 years. Just whatever. I just didn't say shit.
For the love. Because you were truly enjoying being there.
Yeah, they didn't ask any questions. They didn't say like, dude, are you ever gonna like stop coming in? Like, you know, like, dude, I just kept coming in. I didn't say shit. I just kept coming in. You know, and like, but then they really, really shut down. And then I had like nothing going on, so I had to go find a job. I graduated school. I was working overnights at Marriott, and I'm like, all right, I need a job.
What did you graduate Columbia with? What degree?
Marketing.
Okay.
So I started with music, and the stuff we were doing was cooler than what they were teaching at Columbia.
Yes.
They were on some ancient shit. And I'm like, this is boring. I have friends using, you know, like there's a new program called Logic and Ableton, and these are some new hot stuff and whatever. And they want us doing everything the old-fashioned way.
Pro Tools.
Yeah. Which is great for like it's still a dope program, but at the time I was a kid, like everything was so much cooler stuff was happening. You wanted to talk about it, and they were just stuck in their ways. So I'm like, dude, let me just slide over to marketing. Did that, graduated. The record label's like really winding down. There's nothing going on. I'm not making any money. So I ended up being the general manager of the Sybaris. Like,
stop.
No.
You were GM of the Sybaris?
Yeah, man.
Bro, are you kidding me? You came in here telling me you got nothing to talk about? I got to imagine the stories from the Sybaris are just incredible.
They were incredible. I was
for anyone that doesn't know what the Sybaris is, if you could maybe give your own little generalization of what it is.
It's a really trashy sex hotel.
On the north side of Chicago.
Well, I trained
in the burbs.
I trained in Northbrook, but they sent me to Downers, so I was running Downers, right?
There's one in Downers Grove?
Yeah, I think it's still there.
No way. That's where my girl's from.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to make sure she's never been there.
I can go in and look up the, I could go like, yeah. Oh, I found so many people. I was looking up everybody. I'm like, you stayed here, you sly dog. And you got the chalet suite with the slide? No, but so this hotel, it was like, it was supposed to be a romantic getaway for lovers. In the 80s, this was probably the hottest shit ever.
Right.
They had like a room with like, you pull your car into the first level. There's a pool on the second level. The bedroom's on the third level. Then you slide into the pool from the bedroom. And there's like sex swings, mirrors on the ceilings. Like you pick like different, like there's a hot tub room, deluxe hot tub room. You know, like just, it's just for sex. It's a sex hotel.
Yeah. And in the 80s, it was legit.
It was legit.
But they never remodeled it, right? And like to this day, it's like still 80s decor rooms, right?
Some rooms got upgraded to the 90s. And they were really, really tasteless. Like, and I would even say like, hey man, look, if, you know, somebody like, hey man, I want to take my girl out. Can you hook me up at the Sybaris? I'm like, no, dude, like go to the W. Like, you don't need a fucking swing. All right. Like, and I mean, so, you know, the Sybaris, you could book it for two ways. You can book it like 11 to 4 p.m. or you book it overnight.
It's either hourly or daily.
It's an afternoon. It's called an afternoon getaway, or it was an overnight stay. So those housekeepers have like 2 hours to clean the cum off of all those freaking rooms. All right. And so they would so during the day was all cheaters and their mistresses, office guys with like prostitutes, crazy. And they would get so fucked up. I remember like I would walk in, the housekeepers would be like begging me like, what are we gonna do? And I just open the door, and there'd be some fat guy would answer with like completely naked, with like a condom dangling off of his like shriveled ass shit. The girl runs out of there, leaves him behind because we're banging on the door. He's like, oh, and he's like huge, and I'm like we're like trying to like throw clothes on him and get him the hell out because that's our last like deluxe room, you know. I'm like,
and you guys got to turn it over.
Yeah, we got to turn the shit over.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, the guy's still in there and they're cleaning around him, vacuuming like around the dude. I caught a lady, man. This one lady I caught her in the bushes catching her husband cheating.
She was like with the binoculars in the bushes.
Oh, she was in there like Homer Simpson, you know, like she was in the bushes, bro. Like she was in that shit. And she was savage, bro. Like that chick called me the next day apologizing. And she goes, I want to talk to the manager. And she goes, I'm really sorry that you caught me in the bushes. You know, but my husband, you know, we have kids and he's taking money from our house to give to some whore. You know, she's like really like getting mad. And she was like, so I'm really sorry. I'm like, it's okay. I understand. I'm very sorry you went through that. She goes, anyway, so I found someone at work to have sex with me. So what I'd like for you to do is, can you please arrange for me to have the same room that he was in so I could sleep with my coworker for revenge?
What the fuck? No way.
And I'm like, now I'm therapist. I'm like, miss, you know, just because your husband did something like, like, you know,
men and women, they don't really.
Yeah. So I'm kind of like, look, just, you know, it's not safe for you. You don't want to you could hurt yourself. You don't know, like, you know, and I'm like, I'm not going to do that. She goes, come on. And I'm like, no. So I'm like, listen, how about this? I'm like, listen, call me back tomorrow. I'll give you 24 hours to think about it. If you decide tomorrow you still want the room, I'll give you the room. So next day she calls me. Oh my God, you are so sweet. You know, thank you so much for doing that, for thinking of me. And I've never experienced someone who's so kind. And, you know, but yeah, I'll still take the room.
She's like, actually, I want to book the room, but I'm not going to bring my coworker. I'd like you to meet me there. Maybe that's where she was going. I don't like, I'm like, all right, I got her the room.
I saw her walking in there like a few days later. Like she was.
That's dirty work right there.
I mean, I arranged for a coworker to have sex with me. Like,
Revenge.
And the way she said it
sex.
too, like I've arranged for someone to have sex with me, and I'm like, what do you mean you arranged? Like you arranged?
I'm gonna see what this cheating thing's all about.
This guy was probably like, I can't believe this is happening. This chick is gonna pay for my room at the Sybaris.
Yeah, for sure. He hit the fucking lottery.
I would love to be a fly on the wall.
You were essentially.
I was a fly on the wall. I hold the world record for most nights spent at the Sybaris alone.
Okay, that's a strong record to
I
hold.
mean, I would work so many hours that I'd just be sitting there in the hot tub listening to people getting fucked on both sides. Like, and it's just, it's just like the pummeling is like happening in like stereo, you know? Like, it's, it's like, I'm just like, yo.
At the front desk, did you guys have like the little metal rack full of horny rhino pills like they got at the gas station? You know what I'm talking about?
Not back then. I don't think that shit was out back then, man. Does that shit work?
I've heard. I've never. I'm too scared to take fucking weed that doesn't come from a dispensary. I'm not putting some crazy gas station pill in my body. But I have a lot of homies that are like, those things fucking work, bro.
That's hilarious. I mean, it's probably a placebo.
I'll stick to the Blue Chews.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, right? Can we get a Blue Chew sponsorship or what?
Yeah. It works great.
So the whole time you're at the Sybaris, are you still thinking you're going to pursue DJing? Are you still working on music? What's going on?
So I was miserable.
Yeah.
And what happened was I emailed everybody in the industry. And I was like, yo, I need a job. Like, so the owner was a nut job.
I could imagine.
So this guy would train with Chuck Norris. And he opened up all these karate schools all over the place. And
He's got sex hotels and karate schools.
Yeah, and so there's videos of him like stomping people in like 3 moves at these karate. It's like all you hear is like boop, 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 and he's got some guy like with his foot on his neck, like dead. And he was really mean.
And he was like the kind of guy that would show you those videos too. Like, check this out.
Oh yeah. And he would just be like, he would just tell you some outrageous shit like. Corporate would be on a call and be like, we cannot spend any money. Then he'd just waltz in and be like, we should get all new flowers. Go get us some flowers. I'm like, yeah, I'll put it in for the budget. He goes, go get the flowers. I'm like, okay. And he's like, okay, we gotta go to Wisconsin property. I'm like, yeah, I'll go with you. Let me know. My girl and I were going out tonight. We're going now. Your plans are canceled. We're going to fucking Wisconsin.
That guy.
And then he's this huge truck, and he's like, you're driving home. I'm like, I don't know how to drive this thing. And then he's sleeping, and I'm fishtailing in this fucking truck.
Like a semi?
And it was the biggest Sprinter, basically. Like,
okay.
I just didn't know how to drive it. So he's like, I want to take you on my plane. We're going to go on my plane.
He had a plane?
He had a Cessna.
Nice.
He's like, I'm going to take you on my plane. We're going to go to Indianapolis property or whatever. I was like, I don't know that I'm going to get on your plane.
Am I going to have to drive back?
Yeah. So I'm like, I'm not going on your plane. So anyway, I emailed everybody in the industry. I'm like, I need a job. The only person who responds to me, who I barely knew, was Bad Boy Bill.
Nice.
And he's like, hey man, you still looking to be down? I was like, yeah, I got some stuff to do around the studio, whatever. I was out. I quit. Dude, like a month later, the owner of the Sybaris dies in his plane going to the Indianapolis property.
Oh my God.
Crashed this shit. It's on video. Like, this guy, I think I even looked up like the flight. I think his last words were like explicitive. Like he was swearing the whole way down. Like
the black box?
Yeah.
You looked up the black box transcript?
Yeah. So, and there's like all these like underground forums of his son is on there coked out, like talking shit and like all this crazy shit. Like, but the dude ended up dying on that same plane.
Jesus.
Going on the trip that he kept telling me I need to come on.
So Bad Boy Bill saved your life, kind of.
I told him that he did.
Yeah.
I could have very easily been on that flight.
Yeah.
And
sounds like it.
Yeah. So
that's insane.
Yeah. DJ saved my life.
Hold on. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I have to pee so bad. This story's so good. We're going to pick right back up. I'm just going to pee real quick and we'll come pick up right there. There's nothing that beats the feeling of being secure and protected while commuting in the city. Kinfolk Concierge is Chicagoland's premier armed chauffeur service. Their expertise range in services that provide VIP, car services, and personal protection. DM with the code STRATEGY or give them a call and let them know you saw this promo on the podcast for 30% off of your next ride. That's a 30% discount. That's a big discount. That makes a $100 ride $70. Don't hesitate to book your next elite level experience. Contact Kinfolk Concierge today. Back to the episode. Yeah, the fucking Sybaris. All right, so Bad Boy Bill Saves Your Life. What did he hire you as? Like, what was your official title?
Bro, anything and everything. I was picking up the guys dry cleaning.
You were just like, pay me money and I'll do anything for you.
As long as I'm around. So I would go from editing a song to picking up dry cleaning to, you know, helping them prepare a mix to, you know, dealing with guys fixing the garage doors, or it was like a personal assistant basically, but I did everything. So I'd do music stuff and I'd do stuff around the house. He'd leave and I'd be in charge, you know, like whatever, like, you know, just just the craziest shit. But eventually it built up. And, you know, I was involved in a lot of stuff that he started like slowly like taking me on the road. And back then, man, it was in like Bill's contract. Like, yo, if I bring an opener, that guy's opening. So I started getting built in to all these shows as the opening act.
That's so dope.
Yeah.
Traveling around you're going around the country, I'm assuming, around the world.
The world.
Sorry,
man. Yeah, we went to like Argentina and Brazil and Philippines and Korea and just anywhere. You know, we were just going everywhere, and I was the opener. And some places like a festival, you know, I'll just roll. I was a tour manager at that point. So like part of it was like, okay, you're going to come on the road with me, but it's not just, hey, I'm going to make it rain gigs. What you're doing is like, you're tour manager. So you go, you do sound check, you do all this stuff. You know, you help out at the airport. You're the guy. You're the point of contact.
Are you like you're laying out an itinerary? You're scheduling hotel rooms? Like, what exactly does a tour manager do? I don't even know.
Well, you're supposed to be doing that stuff, but he actually had the agency was doing a lot of that.
Okay.
I was just the guy on the ground. So like, you called me when the ride was there. You know, I went to sound check.
Okay.
I did the guest list. I, you know, made sure everything was tended to when he was DJing. I arranged the car, you know, stuff like that. Mostly, the most important thing was sound check and just being someone like a guy there for him, like whatever he needed when he was DJing.
Yeah. Also, being on the road is lonely as fuck. I mean, just in the small, you know, maybe even capacity that I've done it in. You go to another city, you're in a hotel room by yourself, you're like waiting for your gig, you don't know what to do, you're just kind of lonely, and it's horrific. So having a homie there would be amazing.
100%. And we got really close. I mean, mind you, I was like working at his house for years before it elevated to that. But then on the road, man, yeah, the gig is done, right? And you're wired up and you don't really want to sleep. So we would just be shooting the shit, watching ESPN and ordering late night room service. And
after the gig too.
Yeah.
You just, like, people don't understand that, like, if you just rock a nightclub, even in a smaller capacity, just a nightclub full of people, you're DJing, you're controlling all the energy, you are the center of energy essentially, and then the lights come on, everyone leaves, it's over. You don't just go to bed. You can't just go to bed.
Right.
You can't just go home and go to sleep. Like,
especially in a new city, and you might have slept on the plane or, you know, whatever like that. You're kind of ready to go. You're up and at it, you know, whatever. So,
and you guys you're doing festivals, you're doing huge rooms, all these things. You gotta go hang out. That was like the best part about working so closely with Dolo, and he fucking lived on the second floor here. We were like inseparable, you know. We were in like a fucking relationship essentially.
Yeah.
And,
like,
you
what
know,
are you doing? You know, okay, I can't sleep, or let's order pizza, or whatever it is that you guys are doing.
Yeah, gigs are. I mean, that's how I got so fucking fat. The gigs were over, and we go eat. We'd go to Griddle every single night.
Wow.
Drinking alcohol all night, DJing. Go to Griddle, order cheeseburgers and cheese sticks, every single night.
Man, I there was a time in my life where I did that, and now I can't even imagine eating after a gig. Right?
Yeah.
But I did it all. Mr. Greeks, you know, I used to do all that shit, man. No more. Very rarely.
Yeah.
If I drink, I might pull into a White Castle right here, actually on Addison. Like,
what's your go-to White Castle order?
Not double, the doubles.
The little double sliders.
Yeah.
You don't go any sides. I mean, personally think the sides at White Castle are the best thing they have to offer. Well,
the mozzarella sticks are amazing.
Chicken fries, chicken rings.
The chicken rings are amazing too, and I like the fish sandwich too. White Castle is really underrated.
Is White Castle Midwest only, or are they everywhere?
They're Midwest and East Coast. So
is it?
Detroit has a lot. There's some parts of the country that it's called Crystal or something like that.
Oh, it's the same thing with a different name?
Same thing, yeah.
Okay.
I think so.
Yeah.
I'm not 100% sure.
All right, we got off track. So you're on tour with Bad Boy Bill at this point. You become his opener / tour manager.
But at that point, I didn't give a shit about Chicago.
Why would you?
Yeah. No, well, I really did not participate at all in Chicago.
Like when
for years.
when you weren't on the road and you were at home in Chicago, you weren't like going out schmoozing, like trying to work on Nick Rockwell's career
I was
as
too
a
content.
DJ.
You know what? That was a mistake. Because what happened was I was pretending to live my dream, right?
I think you were living a lot of people. You were living my dream.
Yeah,
I'll tell you
yes
that.
or no, right? So like, okay, look, like you imagine you. So you're like, okay, what's your goal, right? I want to blow up as a DJ. And what comes with that? You get flown around the world. You're getting picked up in an Escalade. You're in Vegas. We're in Vegas like all summer. You know what I mean? I know everyone in Vegas. It was crazy. So like Wet Republic and all these like pools and all this shit. And you're staying in the suite. It's all paid for. You're getting picked up in an Escalade. You're getting driven around in limos. You're going to the show and you're playing and you're rocking a crowd. It's one problem. No one is there for you. No one gives a shit about you. No one cares about Nick Rockwell. You're just the guy that's standing there until Bad Boy Bill gets there.
Yeah.
Or, and sure, I did do a good job and I got some people to book me afterwards, places, smaller markets that got behind me, But other, the markets that he was playing for couldn't be bothered with me. It's nothing personal, but I don't sell enough tickets.
Yeah.
So it's almost like a mind fuck, right? Because you're living it and you're feeling accomplished, but you ain't shit.
I could see that.
So as Bill, it was getting less and less busy. Then he's doing all this other stuff, and Bill's a smart guy. He's hands in everything. He's founded Beatport.
He founded Beatport.
Bill was one of the founders of Beatport. Yeah.
There's always been like whispers of that, and like some people don't know the full story. They'll be like, he's involved with it, so like. Yeah,
he was one of the. I mean, he was one of the first guys investing, and he was there with his input, and whatever. So
that's amazing. Good for him.
I even back then I was still working at interning. This was even before that, when I didn't even understand the project, but they're like, hey, we need you to digitize this entire catalog.
So you were taking vinyl records and converting them into digital.
Or what if we had the master files? We were just creating like an organized database, basically, of music. I didn't even know what I was doing at the time, so I didn't know what Beatport was, but I was involved in it. It was some other shit I didn't even know. But what happened was, when that started being not as busy and it was more time off and whatever, and a lot of places, Bill switched management a couple times, or it kind of got lost in the trickle of like, hey, this guy's rolling needs to open. So. And a lot of places would be like, hey, we want local support, this and that, So I would road manage a lot, but then not play as much. And so then it would slow down. It kind of slowed down, and now I'm here. I am. I'm like, okay, dude, I go out in Chicago, not know anybody, not know anything. I don't know who's who. I was scared to go places because I was embarrassed by the door. I didn't know if they're gonna let me in. Like, told me to go to Studio Paris, man. I was scared to death. Like, I didn't know anybody.
What year is this, you think?
By the time this started like happening, when I kind of wanted to venture into Chicago, was probably 2014.
Okay.
Where I'm like 2014, 2015. It's like, okay, this place is popping. I don't know anybody there. And I want to get in. And fortunately, somewhere along the way, I made friends with Jersey. I don't know where. But fortunately, somewhere along the way. Was it
through Steve Smooth? Because I think I met you were hanging with Steve Smooth mostly.
The first time I met Jersey was through Steve Smooth. But then you know what it was? I got on the Scam. And he was already on Scam, and he was just kind of like, and then Bill had a show at Studio Paris. So then Jersey was like, welcome, like he was super nice. He goes, you're on the roster with me, I heard, whatever. And Bill had a show, so I was kind of road managing that show, and it was at Studio. So me and Jersey just chopping it up, and then we just slowly started talking from that. So Bill had a show at Studio Paris.
Yeah. I got to get Jersey on the pod.
He's so much fun.
Yeah.
He's one of the best guys I know, man.
I should have you and him back. That'd be great.
That would be fun.
That'd be a fucking great episode.
It would be a great time.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's one of my best friends, and I just love that guy, and he's just overall a good dude, and his personality is like a 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, so I'm like, I don't know anybody, and I'm trying to, whatever. And I think I had, talked to Bill about helping me get on Scam, and and I tried being like a scam, just electronic DJ. I wasn't making any money. I wasn't doing shit. So I tried becoming open format, and then I got booked at Five Roses.
That's right. You were the mayor of Rosemont for a minute.
Yeah, for a long time. And the guy so I was still playing mostly house. I thought I was an open format DJ because I got on DJ City and would download like trap remixes of a song.
Right.
Or a remix that would go into Fetty Wap for a minute and then go back to EDM. I'm open format. I don't know jack shit.
Yeah.
I could not, if there wasn't a transition record, I was not getting from BPM to BPM without using a transitional record.
You were never into hip hop at all, like your whole life. You were just straight.
No, I loved hip hop.
You did?
Like growing up, I listened to hip hop, but
Yeah.
I became Mr. House Guy, you know? So I knew a lot of the songs and I was cool with hip hop, but I was just snobby house guy.
Yeah.
House people are snobby.
Yeah.
They can be, yeah. A pop commercial open format guy, if you play him a house record, he's going to be more open-minded and be like, yo, that's cool. You take a hardcore house guy and you play him a rap song, like, man, fuck that shit, man. Commercial ass, pop, whatever bullshit, man. It's all about house music. Like, at least that's what it used to be like now. But back then it was kind of like that. You can go to Underground and play, it's like an open format club, but you play some new cool house record and everyone's like, this is great. And if you go to like back then, you go to Spy Bar and play a rap song, everyone's like, boo, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah, I could see that for sure. I could see that for sure. That makes a lot of sense.
So from then I was on Sticks. The guy from Five Roses, John, who brought me in, he was a super fun guy, cool guy.
Shouts to Jonathan.
Yeah. So he really helped kick it off because he just kept bringing me in and he didn't really care. He wanted it mostly house with the trap remixes and the hip hop remixes, but it was more house. So it was actually worked. But as I evolved there, he was like, I'm never booking you again unless you get a laptop for no reason. Just, all right, I guess I got to go buy a laptop. So I go buy a laptop and then I just start evolving more. And it's like bachelorette parties galore. And it was the crowd, it was just different, And we would bring in guest DJs. And I'll never forget, man, Dirty Darren. I thought I was a great fucking open format DJ. And I thought that was my club. And this kid, man, he came in there, a fucking animal.
He's a great DJ.
A great DJ. And he knew that crowd and how to work them.
Those are his people.
He wasn't even trying. Yeah, you could tell he did. You could tell he did a lot of that and a lot of Wrigleyville, right? Like watching him, but he wasn't even like he had done it 1,000 times. It was just effortless, And he's scratching on every song, and I'm like, wow, I need to go home and reassess my life after watching this. Watching this kid like do what he just did to this place. It was relentless. It was just every record was the right one. And it was just went on for hours and it wouldn't stop.
You're like, what the fuck?
He's not losing them at all. And I'll never forget that day. I'll never forget some of the shit he played. And I remember I think I used to do this a lot. I would go in notes and write down the names of songs. I would follow Jersey around everywhere. And blatantly tell them, oh yeah, I just write down all the songs that they were playing.
Now they got auto Shazam.
Yeah.
You just turn that on, you throw it in your pocket.
I don't know that.
Check it when you get home.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. If you hold down the Shazam button, it'll turn on auto Shazam. It'll run in the background.
Oh shit. And everything you heard?
Everything it picks up, it logs.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Dude, I did not know that was a thing.
There goes the secret.
Yeah.
I didn't know that was a thing. But I would between that, studying the guys and watching them move, I was like, okay, you suck at open format. You think you know what you're doing. You're so full of shit. You're so fake. You're playing, just these built-in remixes of stuff. But I don't know. I grew from that.
So you got a laptop, you get Serato, right? You're switching over. I remember helping you
so that's another,
with Serato sure.
That's another story that I as you were telling me to come by, I was just thinking back and I'm like, man, I'll never forget this time where I was new on Serato and I was DJing at El Jefe. And what's crazy is, again, I don't remember when we exchanged phone numbers or what.
I think it had to be at Underground one night because I remember when they started EDW, every damn Wednesday was
Yeah.
the EDM thing. Nathan Scott was playing. Steve Smoot would always go. I don't remember if he played a lot or if he'd go support.
Steve?
Yeah.
He was one of the main guys. I think he was like a resident. Him and Nate were like the founders of that.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, so he would always go, and I remember it was Wednesday was Hefe's industry night.
Yeah.
I'd either play there or go there.
Yeah.
And then afterwards we'd go to Underground, hang out with Steve. I definitely met you. I remember talking, and you were telling me you got your name Rockwell because you grew up on Rockwell, and I was like, yeah, I'm from the north side. I'm from right there.
Yeah.
Assyrian. I probably asked you if you like Dolma.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that kind of stuff. But so wait, what were we saying? Oh, so then
Serato.
I don't know how to use Serato. Well, I knew how to use Serato, but I was pretty new at it, and it was like whatever setup I was using all the time. If I Rose, I had a gig at El Jefe, and I couldn't get Serato working, and I'm panicking. I'm in my sticks now. Now I'm addicted to Serato. I'm on my sticks and I'm panicking, and I don't know why, but I decided to text you and Dolo. And I'm like, guys, whatever. And it was so sweet. It was so kind. It was, dude, I will never forget this image in my head, bro. Like, Dolo, you guys would go back to back at Bottle Blonde.
Yeah.
Right? And I remember you guys trying to figure out over text, and Dolo's just like, hang on, or whatever, like, I'm gonna help you, or whatever. And like 10 minutes later, I see Dolo with this just the nicest smile. And he's got his big winter coat on. And he walked like 4 blocks from Bottle Blonde to El Jefe to fix it for me while you guys were doing your night. And I just see him walk up, climb up on that. And he's like, hey. I'm like, oh my God, you came.
Like Savior.
Yeah.
Savior Dolo.
And he fixed it. I don't know what he did, but
That's hilarious.
he helped me fix it. And then it was a really nice story. But I remember he just was so chill about, like running over 4 blocks in the winter.
Yeah.
With his jacket on. Like,
there's definitely only certain people you do that for. Certain people you they need help, and you're like, I'm gonna let this man crash and burn because either he's an asshole, or he needs to learn, or like there's some reason for it. But you're always been a nice guy, homie.
Yeah.
And so like, if you need help, you get help. That's how it works. And that's the really nice thing about the DJ community as a whole.
Yeah. It was a nice time. We were playing so many of the same spots, and like it was a really, really nice time.
Yeah, R.I.P. to Bottle Blonde and Jefe at this point.
Yeah, man.
It's all crumbling.
Yeah, bro. River North is a ghost town.
It's a wild town.
Yeah.
It's a wild place. Are you still playing anywhere over there?
Just Tao.
Tao, obviously, yeah.
Just Tao. Nowhere else, really. Most of the places I used to play at closed.
Mm-hmm.
And everything's kind of shifting over to the West Loop, which would be nice to play a couple places there that I think are interesting. But
what do you like over there?
I like John Boy.
John Boy is the absolute #1 club in the city, I think.
I text Dante's bitch ass, man, trying to get in there.
What did he say?
Nothing.
That motherfucker never replies.
Nothing.
I'm waiting. He hit me up one night like, I'm in Mexico at my boy's wedding. It's 12. We're partying in the cave for the after party after the wedding or something. He's like, hey, bro, like, do you think you'd be interested in trying to do a John Boy set one night? I'm like looking up at the stars, like the heavens had been sent to fucking come down and save me from, whatever. And I still haven't heard back from him.
Yeah, that's
like, you texted me.
That's Dante. But that's why you can't be mad at him. Like, you can't, like, I can say what I want. I have Dante, man. I've given that guy, I admire him so much that I've told him on multiple occasions, like, bro, I don't know what the fuck you do and how you manage to do, like, this guy's writing these, like, deep articles.
He's a big blogger.
And then he'll write these deep, long tweets. Then he's got his hands in all these clubs and he's DJing, and he'll be like, he'll post like, yeah, I just read this great book. Like, when?
yeah.
What the fuck you mean to read a book?
He's doing cooking videos.
Yeah, then he'll be like, hey man, check out my new song. When the fuck did you make a song? Like, what?
I feel that. I
made
feel
a song.
that
Like the
sure.
guy, and I think he, I don't know, man. I think that guy does like avocado toast with Adderall or something, or like,
yeah, he's out here.
Like, everything but the bagel seasoning. He doesn't. He puts on like, like, or like honey nut Adderall, with some milk, like for breakfast. I don't know how someone can can have so much output.
He's definitely crushing it, bro. And John Boy is the shit.
Yeah. So I know I'll never hold it against him if he doesn't text me back.
I know, same. Anyone you talk to, like, I'm Heavy's a resident there. I was talking to Daly the other day.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, I'm waiting for Dante to hit me back. He's like, yeah, keep waiting, Like, everyone just fucking.
Well, Dante has, like, for me, he's got, like, one of those stories, too. Like, I thought he hated me the first time I met him.
I think everyone feels that way.
Yeah, he's got that bitch ass face when he DJs, like, and I've learned, what it is. It's that guy's not just DJing. That guy is shopping for a comforter. He's paying his ComEd bill. Yeah. He's fucking on Xfinity. He's probably emailing, like, doing talent bookings, and then throwing a track on the left deck at the same time. Like, that guy I'm telling you, he's like laser. He's like a machine. So, yeah. But again, I love that guy so much just because, like, I thought he hated me, but then I realized that he really likes me. And then we were all DJing on a cruise ship at one point. It was like me, Steve, and Jersey, and it was like the Inception
Groove Cruise.
Inception Cruise. And I remember Dante, man, he just texted everybody. He's like, "Hey guys, Nick's on at this deck at 6:00. Let's rally up and go support." I'm like, I will love you till the day I die.
Yeah.
For that, because it was so kind. It was just such a nice thing that he did that, and the small things, I'm like, that was so thoughtful that I'll just love that guy forever, just for that one little thing.
Yeah, that's tight. That's super tight. Hell yeah. Shouts to Dante. I think everyone thinks he hates him when they meet him.
Yeah.
I definitely felt that way. I remember meeting him at Bull and Bear.
Yeah, it was an underground for me.
Yeah.
You thought he hated you?
For sure. I'm like, hey, what's up? Like, he's just, it's like I feel like sometimes I do the same thing. If you're like in the middle of DJing and it's not going as well as you want it to, you don't want anyone talking to you. You're like, I got to get my shit right. I got to get this room right. And then I can, like, have a good time and say something to somebody,
Yeah. So I think that's what it was. I was almost kind of intimidated, because he was at underground. He ran underground. He was one of their main DJs, and I'm over there like, hi,
yeah.
I'm the new guy trying to play open format DJ, and I use transition records, and like
that's so funny.
Yeah,
that's incredible. So you get in, you get your Serato to work. Finally, you become a master of Serato, right? You're still on it to this day.
Yeah.
Even though now it's the pendulum swinging the other way. Open format's starting to shift to sticks. Everything's going to sticks.
No chance in hell for me.
I will say, on Saturday night, I shattered my laptop screen. Could not use it. Minutes before my set time.
Okay.
Meg's DJing. She's opening at Bodega. I put my computer on the ledge behind me as I put my stick in to put a song on for switchover, mix the song in. All of a sudden I hear, I look back, my computer fell on the ground. Screen is completely shattered.
Oh my God.
No shot that I'm going to be able to do anything on it.
Oh my God.
So I had to play off this one stick that I have of some crate of only house music.
Wow.
And then Meg, thank God, put like 400 new songs that she just downloaded on a stick for me, left it.
Oh my God.
So I'm playing off one stick of my music that I kind of know and one stick of her music that I don't know what it is at all.
Wow.
It was a rough night for sure. But with the CDJ 3000s, their screens are so big. They have everything you need to play like as if you were on a computer. It felt nice. It felt really nice to not be staring at a screen all night.
I mean, I could see that. At Tower, where I mostly play, man, I got that title built in. If there's a client or a guest or somebody that has, a crazy request and management wants it played, I don't want to think twice. I want to have access to everything. And I feel I'm so fast with my folders, with getting this stuff. And I just don't want to trade that access for just poking around back, this and that. It's like, fuck that.
Yeah.
I want full access to the world on the spot, fast access. I have, my sticks are pretty well backed up. I will say that. And I keep them on me at all times. And if I'm closing, I won't bother to plug in the laptop. I'll just play off sticks unless I need to plug it in. But I don't think I'll ever be that guy to be like, nah, I'm switching to sticks. No chance in hell.
Yeah.
Never.
That is a really good point, though, because nowadays, especially in the bottle service clubs, they want, if, someone's spending enough money, they want you to play a fucking polka song. It's definitely not going to be on your stick. You're going to have to fucking download it.
And they deserve it. Like, I'm not opposed I'm not opposed to that shit at
Yeah?
all. No, not at all. I'm not opposed to any. You know,
What's the wildest song you've had to download and play?
there's this like, you know that I think he's Mexican or he's Colombian. I think he's that guy. There's like a viral video of him. The song's called El Cantante or something like that. It's like a hardcore Spanish like salsa.
I don't know if I know it.
The guy, you see him, he snorts some coke right before he snorts some coke right before he starts singing this song. He's like a Colombian legend. I don't know if he's Colombian.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that one at the middle of peak hour.
Someone wanted that?
Yeah. It's a really popular song.
How did it go? Did
song.
you played it? You're like, management wants me to play this, so it doesn't matter what happens in the room. Did you think it was going to go really badly? Did you think you were going to lose the crowd from it?
I didn't care.
But how did it end up going?
Of course I lost the crowd.
Yeah?
Yeah, but
Sometimes off-the-wall records like that can still, it's so shocking and surprising that people are just like, all right, let's fucking go with it.
that happened once with Cotton Eye Joe.
Where was this, at Five Roses?
It was at Tao.
No, they would have loved that.
It was at Tao. And man, I don't know what it was. And I'm not opposed to playing, I get pretty open format and I'm not opposed to playing crazy shit, but I think I didn't want to play it. And they kept insisting. And oh my God, dude, they started raging in the middle of the floor. And it was like, man, thanks for that. I'm going to do this all the time.
Yeah.
Like, this was crazy. It was, but, I will say about Tao, man, and I got to give my props. Tao made me a better DJ.
How so?
I throw it back to two guys, Mike Felton and this guy Ben, who was a manager there. And when I first started with Tao, it was like I did okay enough to come back, right? And I would get the shoulder tap from Mike Felton, and it would just be like, "Hey, bro, you're losing the energy," and again, you'd never want to be, DJs have huge egos, and you never want to be that guy, right? Because he has like an eagle eye view or a bird's eye view from down there, and you got a company that just is in the business of not fucking around, right? Everything they do is at the top, and you got to trust that they know what they're doing. So I'm just worried about making them happy. And Felton I would see it. Like, I'd play a couple songs and be like, oh shit, I think they're not feeling this. And I'm like, okay, so I'll play this, and this, and I'll maybe switch. That's not enough fucking time, right? Or it's too much time, right? And I'm like, okay, that's my plan. I'm going to switch. I don't think they're feeling the hip hop right now. And so it's in my head. I kind of seen it, but you get the shoulder tap. Hey, bro, you fucked up. If you had to get the shoulder tap, you fucked up.
You weren't quick enough on recovery.
Nope, you weren't quick enough. And so nights, it became my goal to not get the shoulder tap, right? So if I got through the night and nobody said anything, I'm like, okay, cool. If I got the shoulder tap, my week was ruined. Or my life was ruined until I came back.
Yeah. Redemption.
For redemption, yeah. And if I didn't have a date already set, I wasn't sleeping. I'm like, dude, I might never play there again. I fucked it up, whatever. But I became like hyper vigilant on watching movement of the room, and the reactions. And I don't know if I ever told Mike Felton this, but I really have him to thank for and Ben. Ben was a manager there too. And Mike actually had a really nice talk with me one time because I was opening and he was like, listen, bro, I know what you're trying to do. I was doing in my Bad Boy Bill era that I'm trying to set up the headliner a little too much.
Like, you're not playing enough shit to get the crowd going.
Exactly.
You're like, I'm saving everything for the headliner.
Yeah. And I really believe it's important to save the biggest hits. Mm-hmm. But that doesn't mean you got to bore them to death, know? And I was just so afraid of, like burning somebody or playing too aggressively. And he's just like, listen, man, I know what you're trying to do. I respect it. But it's, whatever. And he kind of just, with just a few sentences here and there, taught me how to play better.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Shouts to Felton.
I love that guy. Yeah. He's at the Texan now, right?
He works for that company for sure. I believe he's at Parlor, but same company.
Oh.
Yeah.
Pizza place?
Yeah.
Oh. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I know it's the same company.
Yeah. And they just opened Rhino. He was there for a minute when they first opened.
Yeah, I've heard of that. Is that place cool?
I think it's really cool.
Yeah.
I like it a lot. It's got a nice, ambiance in there. They really changed it around from stout and gave it a facelift and rearranged it well.
It was stout.
It was, yeah.
I still never been there. I've never been to stout either, but I know where it was. At least. Yeah. Wow. Is it 2 floors?
No, Rhino itself is 1 floor, but like that second floor, I don't know what they're doing with it now, but when that was stout, the second floor was like, you know, an event space. They'd rent it out for parties and shit like that. So I would assume they're doing the same thing.
Yeah. Wow. That's crazy.
Yeah. It's dope. Yeah, me and Heavy were talking about this actually, like the beating yourself up from DJing, you know, like how do you, if you get the tap on the shoulder and you're so upset about it, how do you even not let it affect the rest of your night? You know, it's like sometimes something like that'll throw me off and I can't even get back in the rhythm of DJing because now I'm too busy second questioning myself. I fucked up once. Am I going to fuck up again? Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Get in your head.
Dude, it totally gets in your head. You start second guessing everything. And it depends on how much the place matters to you and your level of experience in that room, right? Like, so I could, you know, when I was the mayor of Rosemont, like I had 5 Roses, yeah, I can recover, you know, like I have my moves, you know, that I can do to fix this. I'll fix this right now. Yeah. You know, but.
Drop Cotton Eye Joe.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. Yeah. But,
maybe a little Bon Jovi.
All that shit. Pitbull, LMFAO, like it's.
Pitbull's like making a strong comeback. Like his old records are making a strong comeback.
Yeah, man.
It's like a throwback for like a 21-year-old girl. It's like, oh my God, I want to hear Pitbull. Like I remember this when I was little.
That is weird. That is weird. But yeah, I think you're right. I've had people like recently asking for some Pitbull. Yeah. And who's the other guy that I was getting a lot of people ask for? I can't remember. Someone from that era.
Peso Pluma?
I don't think he was born.
Sexy Red?
I don't think he was born. Peso Pluma people, I love.
Yeah?
They tip. Aggressively.
Damn. I have yet to get one single tip.
Back when he was first, I think now it's become more normalized to play Peso Pluma, but when it was like, when he was some new shit that I didn't even know who he was, to like play the song, man, he just got $100 or whatever. Like they were, I was like, I felt like that Scarface video, like the push it to the limit. the money counter. I'm like, fucking, I don't know who this guy is, but I'm getting rich. Like I just made more money than I got paid for the night to play Peso Pluma.
Yeah. But you had to play like mariachi music.
Yeah.
So they should be paying.
That's kind of how that El Cantante song is. It was like that shit. Yeah. But yeah, man, it would affect me, dude. I'd end up playing worse sometimes.
Yeah, it's all about not getting into your head. Sometimes I can feel that happening, and honestly, most of the time it's when I'm high. I'll get high, and then I can really feel like I can feel myself sinking, and I'm like, oh fuck, I gotta like stop, get out of this like beating yourself up, this just sinking ship, like just like you've done this a million times.
Yeah.
Like I'm just killing myself. You know what I'm saying?
Yep, you're fucking it up for yourself. Yeah, you're totally messing it up for yourself. You know, a lot of times if I'm not drinking and that happens, I will immediately order a large glass of tequila. Yeah. I've done that many times.
Yeah, alcohol helps for sure.
Yeah, because it just gets you out of your head.
It gives you that fuck it.
Yeah.
It gives you that fuck it. That little like you don't overthink it. You're just like fuck it.
No, I've done that many times, man, and it works almost like a drug. Like that's
exactly what it is.
It's instant. Like I'll drink that glass of tequila. Like, all right, let's go. You know, like let's recompose ourselves. You need to loosen up, get out of your head. You know, take the edge off, and then that's it. But yeah, man, it gets in your head. But.
Yeah, and then the you know, you said for the whole week after, you're thinking about it.
The worst is when you don't have your next date set up. Yeah. That's the worst, you know, because you're like, am I going to get another date? Is there going to be another date? Like, how bad did this go? You know? So then you get that other date. You're like, live to die another day.
There's such a balance. There's such a fine line between like beating yourself up makes you a better DJ, right? Because you don't want to feel that way. You feel this way and you're telling yourself like, this is how you feel because you did this. You fucked up. It doesn't have to be like this. Be better and it won't be like this. So it makes you better, but at the same time, while you're suffering through it, it's definitely not good for you.
Yeah.
It's definitely not good for your mental health, you know?
Yeah. It's sad. You shouldn't really overthink it. You know, it's really not that big of a deal, right? Like, just do your best, but there's something about it for us, you know?
Yeah.
And I think there's a lot at stake too. If you really like the place you're playing at and you want to do a good job and, you know, you want to come back, you want to play again. So I don't know, I'm grateful.
Yeah, for sure. No, that is the greatest gig that
Do you
you can
have that?
get in this city.
Oh yeah, I think so too. 100%. It's
Yeah.
just like I said, everything is perfection there.
Even, I mean, just the sound quality in there. Sometimes I'm scared to mix the way that I mix. Sometimes I'm scared to DJ the way that I like to DJ. Like, I have a certain way of DJing that is my expression of me, that's how I do it. That's how I like to do it. And sometimes if I'm at a place where the sound system's not good enough, I'm scared to do it because I'm mixing these two records and the sound system's not able to carry what I'm doing properly to the people. It doesn't make sense. It scares me. I feel like I'm going to fuck it up. It's going to sound bad. Tao, I never have that.
No.
I never have. So just that in and of itself, the alleviation of that anxiety, that second guessing is incredible. I'm
'cause
like,
it's
I can
just
do whatever
right.
the fuck I want.
Yeah, because it's right out there.
Yeah.
Everything is right there.
Yeah.
Like this, just the height of the decks, the production. You know, everybody is operating at a top level there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it's the hospitality. You know, they have the best hosts, the best door, the best security. I mean, the prettiest girls. I mean, just you name it, they're just operating on 10 out of 10. So,
Yeah.
but then it makes it so easy for you to play well because you have all the tools you need right there. It sounds great.
Yeah, you're part of this team.
Yeah,
You're just part of this team that's already killing it.
Yeah.
Now all you have to do is kill it, and you're fucking.
But when everyone else, when everyone else is working hard, it makes you want to work hard.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So like when everyone else is delivering, you don't want to be the weakest link. You want to deliver as well, right? So it gets you hyped up to work. Anytime I play there, I'll still prepare. Like I'll still make sure my shit's in order. Even after all these years, I still like take extra care for that place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely a great gig. It's fire. It's fire.
Yeah, it's so much
and
fun.
it should be inspiring to any other club owner to reach your fullest potential and fucking put as much work as they put into it. You know what I mean? Because it really shows. It really comes off as a patron just walking in that room.
Yeah.
You're like, damn.
Yeah, and I think
is
right
dope.
now, like, it's not like before, right? You can't. It's not. The club scene is different, right? So you have to operate at that level to survive. You have to have something different, something cool, an experience, right? You just open the doors now. It's not how it used to be, man. I remember how many clubs there were. Like,
Yeah.
just open the
All
doors,
popping.
all popping.
Yeah.
And I can go back to, I think I'm quite older than you, and I can think back on times, man, Monday night, Tuesday night, Wednesday night, like stuff just, there was a place to be every night.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, you've been in this game for a minute. Is there, in the time that we're in right now, do you see any similarities to any other time that you've seen? You know what I'm saying? This lull maybe that nightlife is in? Like, have you seen this before, or is this the first time for you?
I never seen no shit like this. But I will say this. Right now, I feel like is a time. So maybe this is true, and I don't know if this is true, right? Because I was ignorant at the time. Not ignorant, but I only knew one world, right, at the time.
Mm-hmm.
When I was first starting out, I didn't know anything about no open format clubs or, party clubs. So when it was just, everything was house music. So like, Mondays was Boom Boom Room, Tuesdays was Slicks Lounge, Wednesdays was Zentra, Thursdays was Slicks again. Like everybody you're there to see a DJ. And even some of the locals were like celebrities at the time, like these guys, Justin Long, I remember Diz, these dudes, man, the whole world looked at them, believe it or not. You would listen to BBC radio and they would talk about these guys. They would talk about guys who worked at Gramophone Records, and so now what I feel like, you're going out, like the clubs where they're booking, like Prism, for instance. There's a national act every night, right? But so maybe I was living that at the time because I don't remember any open format clubs at the time, but maybe I just wasn't in that world.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, I bet back in the day there was like your house spots and then your hip hop spots.
Yeah.
There probably was no middleman.
I don't remember no middleman, man.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense.
Well, yeah. Maybe White Star. I think was
White Star.
I don't know
What
if
is that
was
now?
Nothing. I don't
It's
think
like a
it's just
condo?
right across from Sambar, directly across from it. Next to Fame.
Oh, okay.
That
Okay.
abandoned, like, I don't think it ever became anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think so. I remember that was popping. That was an open format club. Rive Gauche.
What's that?
I think
You
don't
speaking
remember-
Assyrian to me?
you don't remember Rive Gauche?
What is that?
Rive Gauche was the mid before it was the mid.
No, I don't. I started.
Something else before it was the mid. It used to be.
It went from Rive Gauche. First of all, it was a Generator, which was I think it was a gay black club. So
And this had to be at a time where there was nothing in that area, like
Oh,
just meat
absolutely
packing.
nothing,
It
no.
was, I think, that was the meat spot, wasn't it?
yeah, I think.
Not even talking about the gay black dudes, but
But I think that's what it
it's like
what it was
beef.
predominantly
like,
known
like
for.
cows.
Yeah, there was nothing around. There was nothing. Red No 5 was up the road. I don't even know if Red No 5 had even opened, but it was the Generator, which was a gay club. And then it went to Rive Gauche. Then it became Rive. Then it became Mannequin. Then it became the Mid.
See, I didn't know anything before the mid. I got into the scene of like DJing downtown and like partying and shit like that probably around 2000, maybe 13 at the earliest.
Oh no, this was like 2003.
Yeah.
2000. So, but that was we would call it back then a glam club, right? So, and I guess right now you'd either be underground club or a glam club. At the time, that's what you'd almost be like an open format club. But it wasn't cool to play hip hop back then. So I remember like Castles in the Sky had actually just come out or something like that, and that was the biggest record you could play at the time, or Toka's Miracle. Like those were like the poppy shit that like came out at that time. I don't really remember. And house and dance music was so big. I don't really remember any hip hop or playing any random Cotton Eye Joe at a club at the time. But that's where the sexy people used to hang out.
I mean, in 2003, if Castles in the Sky was the hit record on the dance side of things, what was like the hip hop hit, you think?
I mean, that's when I really didn't go to hip hop clubs, man.
Yeah.
I'd be answering your question based off my Serato memory.
Right.
I'd be lying to you.
Yeah.
I
wonder what it was. I wonder what, like, if they were playing that shit over there, what were they playing at Funky Buddha or whatever, the hip hop spot was?
Yeah. I don't know, man. It's a really good question. I don't remember what was popping in 2003 for hip hop.
Me neither. I have this list of the top songs from 2005 is as far back as it goes. Kanye West, Gold Digger, Mario, Let Me Love You, Sierra and Missy, 1 2 Step, and 50 Cent, How We Do. That was 2005. 2 years before that, I don't know.
I don't remember, man. I'm sure if I opened my Serato, I could figure it out, but
You just go back in your history.
you know what? There was a moment in time I stole this idea off Jersey. He's so organized, but for I think a lot of songs, I put the year in the comments. You know what? Sometimes you'll go into a set, right? And you don't know. And you'll play like, okay, I'm going to play these songs from like 2008-ish. But then it doesn't kind of make sense when you play it with like a 2015 record. And sometimes it's all mixed up to you, but it doesn't make sense, right? So I did it once, and I don't think I'd do it anymore because I learned it the first time, but I actually taught myself the years of all these songs. Because sometimes you're playing in early 2000s, and you just sound dumb when you play like a newer record sandwiched in between those just because they're in a similar BPM. So I kind of retrained myself with those, but yeah, I don't remember.
That's a good little hack right there.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah. It makes your set sound sloppy. I learned, shout out to Jersey for that, because he was like, know your years, bro. He's like, those two don't go together. Why would you play those two? Like, do a mini set, do like 3, that'll make sense, and then do slide out. But for you to play Missy Elliott, Travis Scott, and then Gold, whatever it is, you sound dumb.
Yeah,
it's true. It doesn't make sense. So.
Yeah. Although, I mean, I don't know. I feel like the mashup era is kind of coming back now with the TikTok mashups and all that. Serato stems. You might be able to get away with throwing a Travis Scott acapella over the Missy Elliott beat.
Mm-hmm.
Something like that.
But you could tell when someone's being creative or just sounds like an idiot.
yeah, facts.
You could tell. There's a difference. Like, I was sounding like an idiot. I sounded like I was a slave to the beats per minute, and I just didn't have enough songs.
Right.
And it telegraphed in my sets. So you never wanted that. So I appreciate Jersey for teaching me that. I was actually really smart.
Yeah. That's good. That's good advice. I like that.
Yeah.
Oh shit! This has been an incredible podcast.
I don't know. I feel like
you came in. You were like, "What are we going to talk about?" I don't know. I'm not interesting. You might be one of the top guests of the year.
Get out of here! No,
bro.
There's no
Diamond Cut. Can you? He's seen a lot of the pods.
To be honest,
every single one of them.
The whole Cerberus thing caught me off guard. I was like, "Wait, what?" Like, I didn't know that. And then like the Bad Boy Bill stuff as well too. It's really informative.
Everything, yeah. It's fucking great, bro.
No, I don't know.
It's fantastic.
I was nervous. I was like, yo, I don't know what the hell we're gonna talk about. Like, I don't really have.
I don't know either, to be honest. Just kind of shoot the shit and see what happens.
Yeah.
But you've done a lot.
Oh, good. I'm glad.
Yeah, you got a lot of, and you're. Some people come in with this idea of like, I need to paint myself in this particular way. I'm not going to talk about any mistakes I made because I don't want that to be associated with me. That's bad. I need to only look like I've done amazing. And that's just not how life works. Yeah. So when you can come in and talk about anything and everything and lay it out and have humility and accomplishments and like everything, that's how you really get to know somebody.
Yeah, well, I appreciate that. I mean, I think my life has been basically one big mistake.
I appreciate the comment.
But yeah, I mean, I could see that DJing needs it. I think we need to make DJing cool again.
We need to make DJing cool again. It's gone too far in a direction of where everybody thinks they know what the fuck they're doing.
It's constantly a big scene of douche fuckery. It's really bad. Like, I think if I see one more video of a DJ in his room, like, like doing that, like, we didn't do that stuff. Like it was cool. It was cool. We need to go back to being cool. You know, like. I don't disagree with anything regarding content. I think everybody should do content, but I think it should be not you playing an acapella over an instrumental in your bedroom. Like, listen, I don't look at a carpenter and be like, hey guys, let me show you how I'm going to precisely nail this hammer. Do that 400 times a night.
Yeah.
This is like, let's get creative, let's also maybe put our hands down and
put our hands down. Put your hands on the decks.
Yeah,
would help.
It's not fist bump in our room.
Yeah,
and everything else will fall into play.
Yeah, it's all optics. It doesn't matter. You could, motherfuckers will press play on a record that does all the mixing for itself, and they're just in there fist bumping, and if it sounds good, people are sharing it, and all of a sudden they're getting booked, and it's crazy, bro.
I've seen some crazy shit, man.
It's crazy.
I've seen some kids just blow up.
Yeah.
Blow up, man. It's crazy. I mean, good for them. It's cool, but I would like to see more. If you're scratching or if you're doing something really impressive, I'm glued. I'm like, yo, that was like wonderful. Like that was cool. But if you get into this mindset where it's like, I just got to put out content.
Right.
No, like, because what you're doing at the end of the day is you look dumb and you look cringe, okay? But what's happening is slowly but surely they're normalizing dumb and cringe.
Mm-hmm.
So this guy's like, I got to keep up with this dumb and cringe guy, so let me be the dumb and cringe guy. Then you've got 18 dumb and cringe guys. And you're like, hey, what's up? I'm Nick. I'm a DJ. Oh, you must be dumb and cringe.
Yeah.
No, bitch, I'm not. I just been painted to look like that because You know, like,
Well, I feel that way at least 2 or 3 times a week where I'm like, I got to do what these kids are doing. I don't care how stupid they look. They're getting the fucking views.
I mean, it's,
So
it's a double-edged sword, right? Because
it's-
I'm like, I know I sound like an absolute hater right now, but I also can't bring myself to do it.
Good. Stick to your guns.
You
And
know,
I want to
like-
follow you because I need to stick to my guns as well.
No, I mean, it's gotta be like, it's just gotta have like, if you're gonna scratch, you're gonna do something impressive, then great, that's
Yeah.
cool, you know. But if you're just gonna wave your hands around and blend, you know, do something very basic, like it's not really making us look flattering in any way.
Yeah, I respect that, and I need to follow that lead. I love making content, but it's such a tough game when you start leaning into like, all right, what's popular? What type of content should I be making? Like, I need to make what I love and then let that lead.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. Me and Jersey, like we used to go out and shoot stuff, you know, and I think we followed your lead. Like you and Dola were like amazing with that. But I think I liked it because we just had fun.
Yeah.
You know, we had fun and we were silly, and it really had nothing to do with, you know, it was Cinco de Mayo and we decided we're going to go do shots with strangers, or, you know, like,
Yeah, I remember that.
you
You,
know,
had the
I showed-
mustache on.
yeah, I showed my hood rat ways by, you know, I do hood ratty shit. That's me. I steal from self-checkout relentlessly. You know,
Yeah.
I do hood ratty shit, you know? So if I do go to 7-Eleven and have dinner and I do spike a Slurpee, you know, so we would just
Hilarious.
we would just do, you know, dumb shit, but it was like, that was fun. But then I never wanted, and I kind of, with Twitch too, I started feeling a little cringe in myself. And so I wound it back. But if I go back, I think I would approach it a little differently.
I feel that.
Just be more sincere about the whole thing.
I got to take a piss again, and we're coming to the end of the episode.
Perfect timing.
So thank you very much for joining us. It was fucking incredible, bro. I'm not even being a dick. I'm being genuine.
Oh,
It
that's
was a
very
great
nice,
episode.
man. Thank you. I appreciate
Thank you.
that.
You've done a lot. You have a lot to talk about. Great DJ, great man,
Oh,
Nick
thank you.
Rockwell.
Thank you. Wow, I didn't know I was going to come over here and get showered with compliments. But
Yeah.
I'm probably, if
And
we
we'll-
could
and-
Photoshop the sweat under my boobs, like, that would be great.
We'll definitely see you soon. Hopefully you in Jersey. Hopefully Jersey's down to do it, and
Yeah.
we can make that happen. But thank you guys for watching. We'll see you next time. Make sure you like the video, drop a comment, subscribe to the channel if you're on YouTube. Algorithm activating activity. That's what we like to see here. And we'll see you next time. Peace.
Well, alright. Battle raps cause I've shaken grown men to the point that they can't even face their own friends. That's why they rhyme about jewels, not life, cause the ice on which they skating is so thin. That's what I love about the human soul. It'll usually show when the truth ain't told. Use a lie.